What's going down, people? How you doing? TK coming at you. Been a long time. I know most of you guys thought I'm defeated. I'm definitely down, but I'm not out. Haven't been emotionally stable to the point where I wanted to do a video. But, you know, you come full circle in your life. Sometimes you realize that things happen not to defeat you, but to try to push you to go further. So here I am back in Kuwait, beautiful Kuwait, here for the birth of my son. Gotta love experiencing life outside of the US. Some people never leave the 4 blocks that they grew up in. So the chance to actually go to the other side of the world, having lived here in Kuwait for the past 7 years, I can tell you firsthand experience that not everybody else in the world does things the way Americans do things. We tend to walk around with that arrogance because we think our way is the only way. So here's Kuwait. Just want to show you guys there's a whole nother world out there outside of what you think is right. And other countries don't do it the way we do it. So I wanted to hit you guys with the general idea and put the foundation seed in your mind that, you know, we all go through challenges, we all go through stuff in life. 7 years here in Kuwait, I never planned on a contingency of losing my job. How many other people are in that situation where you don't have a plan B if you get fired tomorrow? A lot of people don't think for the future. You know, we're taught to live for today. We're not conditioned to think 5 years out. We're not conditioned to do things that financially will set us up for a stronger future. How many people are actually doing things that can financially set themselves up for a better future? Gold, silver, cryptocurrency. Everyone looks at paper as the only option within finance. Paper is it. Well, how much paper do you have set aside to sustain you? You know, 6 months, you can go through 10,000 like that. You know, if you don't have an emergency fund set up with, you know, 30, 40, what do you have as a plan B? So only thing I'm trying to hit you guys with is having a plan B, setting yourself up for a future, and thinking about finance outside of paper. This is not a conversation that people really want to have. And this is my problem, is that I rarely interact with people that are thinking about forward steps or even type solutions that could set themselves up. This is not the conversation. People want to talk about bullshit. I want to party. You know, everybody's focused on shit that has no value in life, right? So it's hard to have these conversations when nobody's really interested, and it's not the trending topic. This is not the topic that grabs your attention. You know what I'm saying? You're not thinking about, let me set up an emergency fund. Let me buy gold in large quantities. You know, set aside $10,000 for a gold. And with all of the time that I spent here in Kuwait, never did I purchase large quantities. So even the small quantities of gold that I had to go to a gold dealer, negotiate with him, but I still was able to get the fair market value of the gold when I cashed out. A long time ago, when I came to you guys, there was a person that came back to me within my video of the past 7 years. The person that came back to me, they was like, yeah, you know, gold's stupid because you get raped when it's time to cash it in. And I was trying to explain, and they didn't listen, and they didn't understand. And that's the reason why this conversation is useless, because people don't understand. No matter how you explain it, no one gets it, that you have to go to a gold dealer in order to get fair market value. You stay away from the pawn shops because they're designed to rape you. So the person was complaining about the fact that, oh, gold is bullshit. And the only thing that we're taught is that paper is tangible, when it is the complete opposite. So I'm only coming to you with a solution like buying large quantities of gold, using it as a means to store the value of your paper so that in an emergency you can use it. If you go to a gold dealer, you can negotiate fair market value. So that's a concept. It's definitely, I think, a concept that few people accept. You know what I'm saying? It's not, like I say, a popular conversation. But I'm in a scenario where I was able to do it for myself. I was actually able to go to a gold dealer, took some negotiating. I just needed more. You know, I think my mistake was buying in small instead of buying in large. Okay, so I'm in that situation where even though I was able to cash out the gold that I had over the 7 years, it wasn't enough to really be able to sustain you. So if you do a situation where you spend 10 grand and you set up a purchase, then as long as that's gold is certified, guess what? When you go to the gold dealer, you're not going to have any problems. So future, outside of paper, contingency plan, insurance plan, set yourself up with some real estate. Real estate appreciates in most markets. So if you own some rental property, that's a fallback that can stabilize your life if you lose your job. And that's the only thing I'm talking about because it happened to me. You guys know I was here in Kuwait for 7 years, lost my job. Still haven't found another job. Trying to work my way back, figure my way through this. So that's the reason why I haven't made any videos. That's the reason why I've been on the low. But you know what I'm saying? Just because shit happens in your life doesn't mean that your life is over. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta fight harder to get back on your feet. And that's all I'm trying to do is get back on my feet. So I wanted to hit you guys with this video just to talk about gold in large quantities, talk about real estate. And then a lot of people don't understand or believe in cryptocurrency, but it is an alternative way to pay. And you know, if you set yourself up in that market to hold certain coins as an alternative, like gold-backed coins, some well-established name coins, you know, and use it like a savings account, that's just one more thing. So I've always talked to you guys in my videos about financial insurance. I've always talked to you guys about having a plan B. A lot of people look at it as, oh, because things didn't go perfect for you, you know, that doesn't qualify you to suggest things to other people. And it's kind of like you are in a position where every decision you make contributes to your life. So whether you take advice from other people or not has nothing to do with your decisions and setting yourself up. So the only thing I always said is make better decisions. The only thing I've ever said in my videos over the past 7 years is that you should have a plan B. You should actually go into areas outside of just living check to check. You know, if you can set up a residual income, if you can set up something outside of your job that still pays you, then you're doing better than people who don't have anything. I never was successful at doing that, but that doesn't mean that my mindset wasn't there. That doesn't mean that my efforts weren't in those directions. Like I say, the gold that I had, I was able to cash out. The businesses that I invest in, none of them really made me six figures, but it still is good to have a mindset of investment. So, hitting you guys with a new video. Not sure when my next one's gonna be, just want to continue on the same concept of being in the mindset of. And that doesn't mean that life is perfect. That just means that you're putting forth effort and you're having conversations that other people are not having. You know, the problem is we're taught wrong. And our community encourages a lot of negative things that have nothing to do with advancement. You can propagate everything counterproductive and then people celebrate you. You know, your video go viral when you're talking about something that's counterproductive and doesn't involve a step a process. So I'm coming to you with the opposite, even though you feel like you haven't heard from me. You probably have to understand the situations that I've been going through and realize that, you know, it's not a situation where we count each other out. It's just a situation where we learn and we grow. And that's where we are right now. We're at the growth. We're at the point where we're trying to reestablish. And, you know, each situation you go through should be a lesson. And that's the only thing I'm trying to encourage you guys with. Hopefully my videos over the years have been encouraging. And the goal has always been to have the conversation that very few people want to have.